You're right, I'm wrong. I read 918 when it's not supposed to be there.
Well, like I said, I got the printout.
It's for 10-2, okay?
Well, no, that's why I went and got the printout. That's why I've been emailing you the last 4 days, because, you know, it was very important that I not miss that date and get further screwed by a system that doesn't work and is not accountable.
It is true. So I do apologize, okay?
No. I'm not trying to be, pardon my French, a dick. You know, I'm not. It's just that when I've already been screwed by the system so many times.
I know.
Have you seen any of my YouTube videos?
I have.
And have you noticed the pattern?
I have, and I know it's really frustrating what you're going through, and I know it's.
You mean when the sheriff and everybody else is breaking the law because nobody enforces medical law?
Yes, and when they try to take advantage of you and you try to defend yourself, and then they just keep on messing with you.
Because there's no consequence.
Yes.
And why is that? I mean, don't we live in the 21st century where, you know, people are supposed to be responsible, they're supposed to be accountable and everything else, or is that just another illusion? And of course, naturally, it's my problem because, you know, I'm the person who has the adjustment disorder, a very well-adjusted individual in a maladjusted society.
You are fine. You are doing everything right, okay? Your court date is the 2nd at 9 a.m. in Department 17. It's for trial call. By that time, I'm going to call ready for trial, okay? When I call ready for trial, what that's going to mean is that I'm going to be ready and we're going to...
Oh, yeah, I'm more than ready. Now, what are we doing about the police officer signing the statement so that we have his testimony under oath so that we can impeach him?
He's not going to sign a statement under oath. What he did sign is a police report, and that he signed under penalty of perjury.
It is? Okay, can I get a copy of that?
Yes, but, like I said...
I'm not going to do anything till afterwards, yes.
You cannot post anything, okay?
No. Darling,
yeah.
You've been dealing with me who's been straight up. You know who you're dealing with. Of course, I will do the right thing. Of course, I won't expect the right outcome. I'm not stupid.
Okay.
But I will do the right thing. And now, what about the appeal for the stupid stay-away order that you now...
So, we can't... so, there's case law that has been developed that the court can impose any condition of OR. What that means is they can... while the case is pending... They can impose any condition as a condition.
And when the case gets dropped or we win, then there's going to be a record of that being there so that the next time they pull this bullshit, they'll just say, well, see, here's a stay-away order.
No, if we win, we will do a termination of the stay-away order that must be signed if we win. If we do not win and we lose, okay, what that means is that the stay-away order stays pending sentencing.
And so that means I can't get my health care?
Not at that place.
Well, where else do I go if everything is through the Department of Public Health and the sheriff, of course, is the rigged person handling security who doesn't, you know.
So we know what the stakes are, right? The stakes are that if we lose a trial, the stay-away order remains.
That's why I want to appeal it. I never had notice.
Okay, so you had notice. The notice is when... Okay, you got to listen to me, okay? Because I'm going to talk to you about legal principles, okay?
Okay.
So when you went to court and you... did the arraignment, okay?
Correct.
We enter pleas of not guilty.
Correct.
And we ask that you remain out of custody.
Only because they dropped the charges and told me that I wasn't being charged as a felony. I would have gone straight in front of the judge, you know, had that not happened, and I would have asked.
Even had that happened, okay? Even had you been in custody, I would have asked for OR to get you out of custody.
Or bail. I would have paid the bail.
Okay, whatever thing it was, okay? The judge has jurisdiction, okay, when a case is pending to impose conditions of you being out of custody because you have pending criminal charges. These are criminal charges.
A misdemeanor.
Yes. Pending criminal misdemeanors, 3 charges. Okay?
Okay. I know what they are.
Okay. So, exercising her jurisdiction, she, in front of you, verbally and physically, through the sheriff, handed you a document, which is a stay-away order.
You mean through the city attorney? It wasn't the sheriff, it was the city attorney.
No, it was the sheriff, the big woman.
Oh, the bailiff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, the question still remains, where was I given notice?
There. When she said in front of you, you are to stay away from the clinic and you are not to go there unless you have an appointment.
But that
That
wasn't
is notice. That is notice.
That's notice of what I'm supposed to do, but not notice of the
No,
pending
because
stay away order, so that I can fight it and say no, this is wrong.
This is not a civil. This is not a civil proceeding. It's a criminal proceeding.
So does that mean that in a criminal proceeding, I'm not allowed my rights under the Constitution and due
Jason,
process?
you were there when I argued against it. That was you fighting it. That was a hearing.
That's correct, and so we can get a copy of that transcript, and I can prove that the system is rigged once again.
Yes, we can get a copy of everything
Beautiful.
afterwards. But right now, you have notice, not constructive, actual notice that you must stay away.
Oh, I have. I'm not gonna give them any more ammunition because they're already falsifying police reports. They're already denying me my due process. They're already denying me civil standby by the police when I call for it. You know, the games are continuing. And guess what? It won't change. You know why?
It will change.
Oh, shall we bet?
Because we're going to fight.
Oh, yeah. And when we fight, they're going to say you were right in your case, and they're not going to change it for anybody else.
Okay, and that's your plight, okay? But I can only help you. My fight is for you.
No, my fight is to make it right for everyone.
Yes.
Ergo, it'll be right for me. So to say that, we're coming from two different paths here.
Exactly. We are, because I have one goal, and my goal is to represent you to the best of my abilities, okay? And to make sure that they are not unfair.
And my goal is to get justice, due process, and to point out the rigged system that screws everybody and nobody's accountable and inhumane.
Okay.
And I've already got 900 videos to that effect.
That's
And I'll
why I
probably
like
get
you.
another 1,000 after we go through this because I'll prove that, you can't fix the system because it doesn't want to be fixed. That doesn't make me, inhumane. That makes the system and the people who work under it the evil ones.
It is. I know that. Right? But I want you to know that I am just trying to help you, okay? Do you have any more questions that you want to say?
Well, I still want to appeal so that you're on notice, the stay away order.
Yes, but I explained to you.
I have to go look it up because, there's got to be something that allows me due process. Because at this rate, if this is going to be...
You do have due process. You're going to trial.
Yeah, but at this rate, had she told me, you're going to get out on these conditions, I could have said, well, just hold me in jail. And then I'll spend 30 days for something you guys are going to drop. And I can sue you for even more because you know what? The system is rigged. Not my problem.
Okay.
Just like the 5 days when we go to trial and I get and everything gets ruled in my favor or dismissed, who's going to pay me for those damages? I know it's not your responsibility. It's not your problem. However, I just cannot accept that because I've come here looking for due process and justice. And let's not forget, I have on YouTube videos of me coming to the public defender's office and asking to speak with Mr. Whoever runs this, Adachi, regarding, medical law and who enforces it. And it's right there how I was never helped in that process, because had we gotten that cleared up years ago when I came for that, this wouldn't be happening to everybody.
But we don't prosecute or enforce any laws. We defend against them.
That wasn't the question. It's a wonderful evasion, but it's off topic. My thing to Mr. Adachi was, who enforces medical law? Because if you're here to defend people against these bogus charges, then you got to know that it's set to fail because nobody enforces medical law. And he was the one who was making the big case in the newspaper about how much he cared about people. Well, here's the obvious problem. And with you continually ignore it and turn a blind eye, well, these are going to be the consequences. So don't get up here and preach to me about how much you want it to be better for everybody when you're ignoring what the problem is.
I'm sorry that they didn't treat you right, okay? You could always get an answer from me. It might not be the best answer, and that might be the...
And I accept that.
It may not be the answer that you want to hear, but I'm going to...
And I accept that, but you have to also accept that I've been through this holy crap for way too long now, and it's just going to continue. My attitude is even after we win, it's going to continue. Because you know what? Who's going to make them enforce the law?
I know that, okay?
So that if you know it's going to continue, then what hope do I have?
Like I said, my only promise to you
is to get through this spot so that when it continues further on, we can go through it all over again, Grant. I can't accept that.
No, my job is to defend you and enforce your right in this criminal prosecution that they have filed against you. To fight so that you do not get convicted. To fight so that you get due process. To fight so there's not a stay away order. Okay?
but not to fight for them to change the things that they're doing wrong, so that the next time when I get released from here because it's bogus, and I go back, they're going to do it again. They did it on 224, they did it on 828.
If they know that you went to trial and you go to trial, they will
you
not
don't think they're going to... Oh, can we have that in writing?
We're not going to have anything...
Of course not, so don't... These are platitudes. It doesn't soak in with me because I don't believe the bullshit. Sorry.
I'm the lawyer, you know.
Oh, not my problem. I'm a child of God telling the truth and being fucked by the system. So, not my problem, lady.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But look, Jason.
Yeah, they're just going to do it again because, you know...
But I can't stop other people from doing things to you. I can only stop...
Well, then who enforces medical law?
Not I.
Well, obviously no one does because they're getting away with it. And after this, and after we prove that they're breaking the law, yeah, it's not going to change for anybody else. And they can do it again afterwards because they have a repetitive pattern of continually breaking the law.
We enforce the Constitution. That's what public
The Constitution where all men are created equal and we weren't allowed to get married till last year? Please tell that lie to someone else.
I do believe that, you know, Jason, that's why I do this job. I think that the best way...
Well, then maybe I need to open your eyes further as to what an illusion it is.
You're never going to open my eyes because
You know it's an illusion.
No, because I know that there are a lot of problems with everything, but I know that you have to fight. That you have to fight for people. If you don't fight for people...
Well, who's been fighting for people? It's been me, because I've been wanting to correct it for everything, and I've got 20 years of it, and where have I gotten? Oh, I got a signed confession from the city having broken emergency law, but guess what? They're still doing it. You know, they did it last year to me. That's why I'm in federal court. You know, now they're pulling this kind of bullshit on me. Mm-hmm. You know, where in HIPAA law does it state that I cannot video record the receipt of my services?
It doesn't state that, but that's not the charge.
Oh, yes, it is. 632.
The charge is
and if you look at...
you were eavesdropping on other
excuse me.
people.
No. Let's back up here. No. 632
yes.
is wiretapping.
This is what it says specifically, so you know. The said defendant Jason Grant Garza did in the city and county of San Francisco, state of California, on the 28th day of August, commit the crime of eavesdropping, to wit, violating section 632A of the Penal Code, a misdemeanor, in that the said defendant, did intentionally and without the consent of all parties to a confidential...
What's C state about confidential? That's a lie. It wasn't confidential.
To a confidential communication by means of an electronic...
I understand that. What is the definition of a confidential communication?
Okay, so we know what the defense is. You and I are in the same... It wasn't you were recording in a lobby. How could that be confidential?
Well, not only that, you know, aren't these people trained in what the law is? Oh, and by the way, didn't he hand me a policy that stated what their video thing was based on HIPAA? Because I gave you a copy of that.
Yes, look. That's not the important thing.
It is the important thing because they'll use it on somebody else, a false policy that doesn't hold water.
Jason, the important thing is that they won't be able to meet one of the elements of the offense, which is that you were recording a confidential communication because there were no patients there. You recorded that.
I've got 900 videos where you'll see I'm not recording other people.
I know that, exactly.
So, and they know that.
Okay.
So they're using this bogus trumped up charges because, oh, wonderful. I win, I get out, I go back, they do it again because nothing got changed, there was nothing written. Hey, let's play the game all over again. They've done it on 226, they'll do it on 828, and after I win, they'll do it again because nowhere has the law been enforced. Nowhere does the judge say, yeah, they're screwing you by this rigged methodology, which you're trying to fix, Mr. Garza. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not okay.
Here's your charge, okay? So that you know what the charges are.
I already do know.
Okay? 6021B, trespassing, okay? They said that you are interfering with a public agency.
Seeking my health care and following up. Yes, I know. Okay. I know their lies.
They said that you willfully and intentionally interfere with any lawful business carried on by employees of public agency open to the public. By obstructing and intimidating those attempting to carry out their business.
Now, let's see if I got this right. They obstructed and intimidated me with a false policy, arrested me, but yet I was obstructing and intimidating them. It's a
And nobody
beautiful
asks you,
narrative.
They have to ask you to leave, and nobody asked you to leave. Only thing they asked you to stop doing was recording.
Even if they ask you to leave, they have to have a basis for it. Probable cause. Excuse me following up, and not getting an answer. What? I leave and come back the next day, and you do it again and again, and I keep coming back because you know what? That they're allowed to ask me to leave. Who's there to enforce my rights to ADA and to get my appointments and to not get jacked around? Certainly not the sheriff who's providing security. So no, that is incorrect.
Okay, but that's the law. The law is that they have to prove this, okay?
Yes, I know. But the law is also that as an ADA patient, I have my rights to access and accommodation, which they're not enforcing. Okay. That is the law also.
The element that we are fighting in this charge is that
is their one-sided half glass full of the truth.
That they asked you to leave and they did not, and they will not be able to prove that because you made a video.
Oh, isn't it wonderful? The exact same thing they didn't want me to do is going to save my life.
Exactly.
Right. How queer is that?
I know. I'll tell you the most problematic charge. And that's the nuisance charge.
Why is that problematic?
Because it's just words, and it's just going to be your word against the medical professionals.
Oh, wonderful. I can't wait to show the jury the 900 videos of me seeking my health care and being denied. Cannot wait.
And the 900 videos are not going to help us, because what they're going to say is they're going to say that by you going in there and recording and recording and recording and recording, and when they ask you to...
Excuse me. Under programmatic access, I'm allowed under ADA, because they don't enforce the law is not my problem.
I'm going to argue that, okay? But I'm telling you what the problems with our case are.
Me seeking my health care and them obscuring things.
They're going to say that you maintain and committed a public nuisance and you did not remove the nuisance, okay? So that they're going to say that your recording bothered several people. They're only going to bring 2 people. For a nuisance, they're supposed to bring more, right? But they're only going to bring 2 or 3. That's going to be the sheriff, that's going to be the receptionist, and a couple of doctors who are going to say that you're going in there and recording and not removing the nuisance or not stopping the recording when they asked you to.
And these doctors are going to base their judgment on what? Haven't reviewed all the files and talked to me, or simply reviewed the fixed narratives that the other side's been providing?
They are only going to deal with the fixed narratives that the other side is going to be providing. I'm going to interview them, but...
And which medical expert are we going to bring from me?
Okay, we're not going to bring a medical expert because that's not a medical expert case.
Well, aren't they bringing doctors?
No, they're not bringing the doctors to say that you have any medical illness. They're bringing doctors to say that you are interfering with their ability to work, and that's creating a public nuisance. And that the public nuisance is created by the fact that you record when they tell you not to.
And when I inform them that it's allowable under programmatic access, and they misrepresent the truth.
We're going to argue that. We're going to say that you are permitted, because of your disability, to record, and that is not a nuisance. And there is not enough people for you to have created a public nuisance. It would be an issue.
Oh, no. Let's put that aside. Let's say...
That's not the defense, okay? You got to listen to me to what the defense is. Because I have a job to do, and you got to let me do my job. Okay? So the defense is that you did not willfully omit to perform any legal duty that you had, because you were not bound by any law to stop recording in a public space.
And not only that, but by law, I'm allowed to record my own health care under HIPAA and my programmatic access. And I want that to be brought out, because that...
We can do that. That's how we're going to do it, okay? Second prong of our defense is that for there to be a public nuisance, there needs to be more than 1 or 2 people. It has to be to the public. And they don't have that.
Well, yeah, because the sheriff and the receptionist aren't part of the public. They're part of the agency that's...
Group.
Well, no, they're part of the agency that's supposed to provide the service that isn't providing the service, that isn't accountable, that there's no medical law enforcement, so that they must provide the service. Oh, it's a beautiful rigged system.
Okay, so that's where we're at, okay? Got it?
I've never lost it.
Okay, that's where we're at.
That's why I live in fear, because once again, where is my due process and justice going to be at the end of all of this?
Okay, so that's what our job is, okay? I am filing a pitches motion on Deputy Mendoza to see if there's been any complaints against them by other people.
Correct.
Okay, so I have that. The pitches motions take a little bit of time. They have to give 16 days actual notice, so I'm hoping that it'll be done before the trial. Okay? If they are not, then we have to make a decision, but we'll cross the bridge when it comes, okay? The court gives me that date. And it's important that we try to run the pitches because it's gonna be his word against you, and if he's lied on other people, it's important that we get their testimony.
Now, what about the fact that, on 226 or whatever, he arrested me for the 602.1, and those charges were dropped? And what about that police report? What if those were lies too?
Yeah, I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna say they dropped that. Mm-hmm. They dropped that. Every police report, wherever.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, but let's not forget, in San Francisco General, they charged me with 632.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
I'm not going to bring anybody else because I don't want more members of the public.
There were no members of the public at San Francisco General. That was me with the sheriff's department. No. The videos on YouTube.
Okay, so public is any person. It doesn't mean that they have to be in public. It means any member of the community, right? And the nuisance charge means that if there's a large number
of public people that I'm obscuring from them receiving their services.
Of the community.
That I'm interfering with them receiving services.
Receiving services or them providing services.
Who is them? The public providing services?
Any member of the community providing proper services. So that means that any cop, any sheriff, anybody. Right? We don't want to bring in more stuff. We want to make it isolated to this incident.
That's fine.
At this place. Okay? Got it? Okay, so I know that you're smart and I can talk to you with all the legalese because you understand them.
And I also understand how it's set to fail. And how I'm going to be left holding the bag after all this is said and done.
Hopefully not. If you listen.
Hope? After 20 years of not getting my medical treatment, after 3 years of videotaping? Hope?
I have eternal hope.
I don't. I'm not that stupid. When you've been constantly screwed by the system and only been dead right, what hope is there? And I've got the proof of that. And nobody's trying to make the system better or accountable. They're just dealing with this little incident here. Well, this little incident will get pushed aside. We'll do it again. That'll get pushed aside. We'll do it again. That'll get pushed aside. And guess what? Nothing changes in the rig process. Unacceptable. But that's my problem to deal with.
Okay, Mr. Garza. Any questions that you have for me?
Okay, so you're working on the appeal, I hope.
I'm not going to appeal it.
I want it appealed.
It cannot be appealed until we lose that trial.
No, I'm talking about appeal the stay away thing.
That's what I'm telling you. I can write a motion for her to reconsider it.
That's fine. That's at least something.
At least we have appeal.
Well, no. A reconsideration is at least we're continuing to make the right motions to show that it's rigged. That's all I want because.
And I'm gonna file a demur, okay?
I don't want to demur because if you do that, they drop the charges and then it just starts all over again.
I'm going to do it because I'm your attorney and my goal is to get them to drop the charges and for you to not have criminal convictions.
Oh, wonderful. So they drop the charges like they did last time and then when I go back, they just write up more bogus charges again.
But I'm going to fight every single way that I can.
Yeah, but unless it's noted, then nothing's going to change and then they'll just redo it again because there'll be nowhere in the file that they did something wrong. They dropped the charges. There was no due process for me. And guess what, Mr. Garza? It's going to happen.
If they sustain the demur, they'll say there's not enough proof.
Well, if they sustain the demur and say there wasn't enough proof, then, why did they arrest me?
That goes on the record. That's proof that they did something wrong.
Well, they dropped the charges before. Where's the record of that?
But they just dismissed in the interest of justice. They didn't dismiss because there was a demur sustained.
I went back to ask what that interest of justice meant. Because I was waiting for my justice. Because there definitely was no interest of justice because I never received any. And I pointed that out that it was a lie. And of course, all they could say was, well, the usual. Because, why care when we're protected?
But that's the difference between a demur, okay? And just a straight dismissal.
Okay.
A demur means that there's something wrong with the complaint, that they can't sustain their burden, and that a judge sees that. So if I win the demur, fine. If I lose the demur, good. Then we go to trial. And then the jury
can see the 900 videos.
The jury, we will talk about what evidence will come in, okay? Because evidence will come in, certain things will not. But we'll be there. We'll cross that bridge when it's time. Okay?
That's understandable.
I don't lie to you. I don't front with you. I just tell you the truth, okay?
And I'm the same way back.
Okay. I know you are. Okay.
So, now that we're both not lying to each other, and we've admitted that the system is rigged, and you've asked me to have hope when I pointed out that it's totally fucked and there's no reason to have hope, it would be insanity. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay?
This isn't based on you. This is just the whole truth. Not the compartmentalized responsibility. Well, I'm just the lawyer and I can only do this. Well, I'm just the judge. I can only do this. Oh, I'm just the sheriff. No. I'm going for the whole big picture of how it's fucked up, rigged, and it's in a nested loop of repetitive failures so that you'll give up, walk away, and never come back.
Okay, and we're going to work on testimony, okay? And how we're going to present in front of the jury, okay?
If it gets that point.
Maybe it won't get to that point.
Well, if they were smart, they'll drop the charges on a demur, because they, I'm sure, don't want the whole truth to come out in the jury.
Exactly. So, and I'm going to take the video and show it to the judge as part of the demur. So, the video you took, so the judge could see exactly what it is.
And how all the charges were trumped up.
And how it's...
And then maybe she can write something saying, well, if you dismissed it based on the trumped up charges and the video disproves it, I'm making an order that you cannot deny him his ADA rights. You cannot deny him everything else so that when he goes back, you won't pull this bullshit again. Yes, I hope you confront the judge and ask her, my client not only wants justice, he wants the ability to not be harassed seeking his health care, which he's not been wrong at all.
She understands that.
Well, if she understood that, she wouldn't have signed the stay-away order because she would have realized that there was 4 times that I've been arrested and 4 times the charges have been dropped.
Did you hear what the DA said? The DA lied on the record.
Of course, that's why I want the transcript.
He said that there were video of you recording somebody else's treatment. And when did that happen?
I want him to prove it. I mean, the judge should have said, well, prove it. But of course, she didn't say that because...
The lobby was empty, right? It's clear that the lobby was empty. So that's why we'll file the reconsideration of the stay away order.
Right, but she should have said, if that's the case, then prove it.
I'll tell you when that's filed, okay?
Wonderful.
I need a little bit more time to do the motion writing, okay?
Okay.
All right.
So we're still on the same page. I don't have to show up on the 18th, which you don't really remember. I'm in the middle of a federal lawsuit.
It's hard to keep dates straight. I know. I'm sorry.
No, I'm in the middle of a federal lawsuit. Now, once again, when this all gets said and done, this is going to go in as retaliation in my federal lawsuit, and I may have to have you come in and testify in the federal lawsuit, that this is the way it was.
You can subpoena me, I'll testify.
Oh, I will always do the correct thing. Do I expect the correct outcome? Let me say it for you. Hell fucking no.
Okay.
And thank you for your patience.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry if I seem like,